What's up everybody, welcome to another Division 2 build video. I thought to myself, you know what guys, I might as well put out these final builds that I've been wanting to put out for a while. Finally getting some of them finished, and I just thought, you know what, let me just drop them. We can enjoy them for a week or two, possibly when the update drops, I don't know. I'm just going to throw them out for you guys. I know a lot of people want to see these builds, so I'm just going to throw them out. Today's going to be a build that you probably have seen around in Conflict or in the Dark Zone. It's pretty much a damage skill build, but the strongest one I've ever made. So what you're going to do with this build is you're going to support your team. You're going to just throw constant seekers and hives. It's pretty much a space build. It's really, really effective. In the Dark Zone, it's hilarious. One seeker mine can kill an entire squad of clutch players. A lot of new players will need a build like this to mitigate some of the clutch bots that are running around the DZ. Just using clutch or any kind of high DPS build. Any build with less than 450k armor, you'll one-tap them with the Hive and the Seeker Mine, which we're going to be focusing on with these two skills. So this build is going to help a lot of newer players, a lot of guys who aren't really too focused on the shooting element of the game. I feel like I've been neglecting you guys. I do apologize. This build's going to help people who aren't the best shooters, who just want to chill in cover and enjoy the RPG elements of the game. I like to do that a lot. And I hope you guys do enjoy this build. This is going to be how I would do it, how I would run it. So first and foremost, the obvious choice for any kind of max seeker build, you need to use Demolitionist. The reason being is because you get 25% increased explosives plus fragmentation grenade. Make sure we're going to be using an LMG and assault rifle, so make sure the damage output is high as possible for those. And then you can also use the artillery turret. That is extremely strong right now, extremely strong, but I'm not going to be fully utilizing that in this build. I have done that previously and I wanted to do something a bit different. So make sure everything is active here. Another very, very strong thing in this is you get burn resistance. As you guys know, burn resistance could really help you a lot. Another one also to look for, when you use an armor kit, it gives you weapon handling by 100%, which is going to really help using LMGs. So it really, really does help. Now, I think there is another one here that actually allows you to ignore explosions every 30 seconds. Where is it here? There we go. Ignore explosions. Okay, it's once every 60 seconds, which is really handy to mitigate even from your own skills. Because you could you will one-shot yourself with this build. So it's quite important to use explosive resistance and to have this active. Otherwise, you will blow yourself to high heaven. It's quite funny. So let's have a look at this build. I do apologize. Let me just change this. That is incorrect. I was actually experimenting with stuff. We're going to be using this. Alright, so this is the build, guys. Let me just mod this for you, make sure it's all good. I need to discuss that in a second. We definitely don't want to roll crit damage on there. That's better. Okay, so as you guys can see, 320k armor. It's not the tankiest build in the world, but we do have quite a lot of mitigation from explosives and things like that. Like I said, this is more for players who want to chill and cover or just fully support their team with maximum damage to destroy players. It's really good if you're not a very confident player and you want to, kill some rogues, or it's just a fun build to use. For me personally, I use this build all the time. It's hilarious, it's fun, it's crazy, it's really, really strong in conflict. I've killed some of the best players in the world with this build in the last 24 hours. It's hilarious watching them blow up and bleed, then they cry about it. We all know it is a bit tense, but everyone has their own play styles. I mean, I cry about it sometimes as well, but we cry about everything. It's not nice when you get blown up and put on the bleed. It really isn't, but you know what, that's part of the game, and I just really wanted to bring this build up for you guys. This build is absolutely insanely powerful. So we have got a 4-7-11, 320k armor, 27k health, which is a little bit of an issue, but we'll get into that later. That's the thing. You're quite squishy, but I would recommend if you could roll health on your knee pads, go for that. But it just depends what kind of rolls you have on your gear. 3000 skill power, that's a must to make sure all of your gear mods are active. But remember, all of your, not gear mods, skill mods, make sure your skill mods are active because that's going to be very important. As you guys can see, I've used the Pestilence. Why? 23.5k base. This actually shreds because we've got some decent amount of firearms, so we can hit pretty hard, even though we're not focusing on damage at all. Now, remember guys, I'm using BTSU gloves. The more yellows, the better. But like I said, we can't just go full on yellow. Then our build will really be lacking a lot of other aspects. We want to try at least have a bit of damage and a bit of everything else, if you know what I mean, plus still having a lot of extra, just focusing on the skill damage, which is the whole reason for this build. By the way, this is my best skill damage build. It really, really is. I didn't really have a name for it. I just wanted to show you guys what I've been using. Pestilence is great because, especially if you damage someone with a C command, you can just constantly be firing at them, and then you down them, and they just go poof, bye-bye, back to the checkpoint. It's quite funny in the DZ. Or in conflict, it's very, very strong. It also helps your team because when it kills the enemies, it gets a cloud of, smoke. You guys know how Pestilence work. Just read it over there. It's very, very strong. Even in PvE, this is a PvP build, but in PvE, this could work very, very well. You would just have to stack some damage to elites on your mask, I would say, instead of skill haste. Then if we go here, Sadist, now that's the reason being is because we're going to be utilizing the Hive, and you're going to be putting people on bleed. So that means 30% extra damage. So whenever you see someone's on the bleed, you swap to this gun and you absolutely shred them to pieces. I've got extra and everlasting. Extra is great. I don't really worry about everlasting. Extra is great because it gives us extra mag size, 60 mag, which is very, very nice. This gun has got a decent RPM and a very high damage rate. It's very strong. The RPM makes up for it, so don't be fooled by the damage. You 600 RPM, 23k for the Pestilence, but it's pretty similar. But like I said, when Sadist procs, you'll see the difference. It's unbelievable. But you can use whatever LMG you want. You can even use an assault rifle. It's really up to you guys. I just wanted to go full LMG, but I mean, if I'm in the DZ going solo manhunt or something, I will definitely swap to something. Maybe actually I could exchange my Savage Wolverine. I actually might do that. I'm going to change the Savage Wolverine and put Sadist on it. You guys can do that. Just go crazy. But the thing that you must always do with your pistol is have recharged. Now, I don't know if you saw in the clip, but if you go into cover and you go out of cover, this has always been like this. It stays on for some reason. While equipped skills is with full armor. Okay, never mind. So that's the thing, is when you just equipped works with everything, but sometimes it doesn't proc. That's probably what I was getting confused about. Go into cover and then just swap to your pistol every now and again. Make sure this little battery symbol is active because a lot of times it bugs out. It's not very consistent. So just make sure you'll see the little battery symbol. Sometimes I have to go into cover for some reason. But equipped means it works on all your guns. So it's interesting. So skills deployed at full armor. So obviously you have to have full armor. But for some reason, like I said, try throw your skills while this is active because it really does help. 25% more charges for your Hive is great. It gives it a lot more because we want to focus on just damage. That's what we want to go for. So as you guys can see, we've gone for 2 ongoing directive. The main reason is bleed damage. That absolutely destroys people. If you don't have hazard protection, you're going down. If you have less than 350k armor, 400k armor, this Hive will kill you. It's unbelievably strong. Now that you're probably wondering why, okay, fair enough, you got that, but all my skill mods are bleed damage and explosive damage. That's what makes this build so potent, which we're going to get into that in a second. The first piece is the mask. Now, we want to go for skill haste and skill power. I have a huge amount of skill haste here. My Hives and my Seeker Mines come back so fast. 500 skill power, 17% skill haste, LMG damage, 5% plus 1 weapon. That's 6% extra damage. Hello, that is nice. Then this beautiful chest piece, 30k armor, 1000 skill power with explosive damage, destructive. It's a must-have. We've also got 20% skill haste from the Alp Summit, which is nice. Then here's where it gets interesting. So LMG damage, make sure. Seeker skill power. Now, just put this on if you don't have enough skill power. Now, I could probably take this off and put some extra explosive damage or bleed resistance, which I probably will. Sorry, bleed damage, which I'm going to do. So this is a good time to show you guys what I do. So if you look over here, we need about 2,900 something skill power. So if I take this off and I look over there, 2,873. This is how you check. You go to your Seeker Mine. You see, it's not going to work. So I'm going to have to just go back to the plain one. That's how you do it, guys. That's how you're going to change your your skill mods up and everything like that, because it can be quite tricky to just get enough. Like, let's say your best skill mod is only 2,700. Now, you don't really want to go for 3k skill power. Rather put explosive damage there or bleed damage. So I hope you do understand what I mean by that. So just a quick little note. Explosive resistance is vital because you will kill yourself with this build. It's quite dangerous. When enemies run towards you, like if you're PvPing and someone decides to come near you, you will die instantly. But because I've stacked some explosive resistance, you won't. You'll tank quite a bit. Now, most people don't stack explosive resistance, so it's very effective. Then we're going to go on to the holster now. Sorry if I'm blabbing on. I'm just trying to give you guys as much information as possible, so because sometimes I can't respond to the comments. There might be a bit too many, or I don't have the time. So I want to try and give you guys the best explanation as possible. So this is another ongoing directive piece, 45% skill haste, 407 skill power. That is the reason why I probably need a better holster. If I can get 700 skill power, I don't have to mod that chest piece and I can put more bleed damage on. So that's something to note. LMG damage 5, another 5. That's crazy. That's 12% damage just from the holster. That's why ongoing is really good. Now, obviously we can't just put yellows because that's what ongoing directive rolls with. So that's why we're going to go for a bit more damage for the pestilence, which is not really a bad thing. This backpack is very important. A lot of these pieces you have to kind of be very specific because you don't want to miss out on this extra 10% explosive damage. China Light. It's a very good backpack, this. 11k armor, 41% skill haste, and 231 skill power with skilled and hardened. Skilled, your skills just come back instantly when you kill someone. It's ridiculous. You could just constantly bombard people. It really is hilarious. Like I said, you could go full on just mortar turret and seeker mine, but I've done that build before, so this is different. So here comes all of the other mods. 5% explosive damage, 1.5% burn damage. That's giving me 5% more explosive damage just from that mod. So it's very, very vital that you do this. BTSU gloves, we don't need to talk about these. Energy infusion, 110% skill duration and damage. That's what we're going to be getting with this. It's unbelievably potent, and that's why we must always use BTSU gloves for any kind of build like this. As you guys can see on the mods, explosive damage 5%, then bleed damage 4%, hello beautiful, then explosive resistance with 3k armor. Make sure you guys mod it just like that. Then on the knee pads, this is how I get my skill power a bit higher. Empowered is very good, 20% skill power, 11% total armor, then again 10% explosive resistance, 10% again. I could probably get my armor up to 360, 370k if I didn't do this, but it's very vital because you can get blown up by other skill power players, but this will help you mitigate all your own seekers and other people's seekers as well. Let's go into the stats quickly before we go into the skills. So as you guys can see, don't focus too much on that. LMG, we're getting a lot of damage. Like, we have got a lot of damage from this build. You'll be amazed how potent this is, but you can't really go face tanking people. It's not really going to work that well because that's not what this build is for. As you can see, guys, 85% explosive damage. That is really, really strong. Very, very good. Then we're going to keep going down. I don't want to focus too much on this. Seeker Mines, guys, 123% skill haste, 1 million damage in PvE. Which is insane. PvP, 223k. It's crazy how much damage this does. Not only that, but when you hit someone with these seekers, the stagger alone allows you to kill them off with your pestilence, and they go poof. It's hilarious. It really is a fun build to use. And then again, Hive. This thing does so much damage, guys. It's unbelievable. Now, we're going to go over now what you want to do to mod these things. It's going to be a bit tricky, but I hope you guys understand where I'm going to come from here. Alright, so we've got 172% skill haste. That's up to you. You can put more damage if you want. I don't know what rolls there. 95% damage and then 54% damage there. And then on the Hive, this is where it gets a bit tricky. Now, you got to gauge. If you want to go up against an entire team, I would recommend putting charges at the top, then damage and radius. The reason being is I didn't have radius and I had charges, but enemies were just running out of it very quickly. The radius is massive on this build, 92% plus 90% damage, and I've just gone full on damage. I get about 10 charges because of the 25% increase. So it's very, very good, and I promise you 4-second reload speed. I wouldn't recommend it. One Hive can kill 2 people just with 10 charges with this build. So it's very, very important that you gauge what you want to do. You can get up to 90% charges for the slot, the drone slot, extra payload. So it's very important. You need to gauge what you want depending on how your mods are. So if you don't have any damage mods there, definitely go for charges. That's what you want. But like I said, I've just gone for straight up damage because my skill haste is so high. So you guys, like I always say, my build is a template. Don't just copy it. You need to gauge, like with your mods, what skill power rolls you have. Do you even have the backpack that I've got? You got to try and adjust your build and suit your own play styles. So just always remember that when you're making these builds, guys. And I hope you did enjoy this. This is my best Seeker Mine, like, skill damage Hive build. It's so good. I love using this in conflict because a lot of people do it and I'm just joining them, and it's just a lot of fun. Throwing Seekers every 9 seconds and Hives every 4 seconds. Just absolutely wrecking everyone in sight. I got 10 kills without firing one bullet. a few matches ago. It was hilarious. Some people might call it toxic. I love it. I love watching people cry about getting hived and seeker mine, even though I do as well. I know I'm guilty of that. We all are guilty of that. But you know what? I wanted to bring this build out, and I hope you guys did enjoy it. Please leave a like and subscribe for more Division 2 content, and I'll be seeing you agents in the next video. Peace out, guys.